I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today in this video I'll be showing you how to make the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf. This is an easy crochet pattern that has a 1-row stitch repeat for the base of the scarf. It gives great texture and is very easy to do with this velvet yarn. The velvet yarn makes this scarf super soft. It's great to work with your hands, but then it also feels great around your neck. The scarf also features 2 Celtic knot hearts that are easy to crochet and easy to weave. I include the printable diagram to help you with this, and I'll also show you how to make these tassels and put the whole scarf together. So if you like this project, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click to subscribe. Let's get started. Let's go over the supplies that you'll need for the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf. First, you'll need 1 skein of Bernat velvet yarn, and I love this pomegranate color. So this is what the label looks like. It's Bernat Velvet by Yarnspirations, and this color, pomegranate. And I used 1 skein for my scarf and still had all this left over. So 1 skein is plenty, and then you'll just need a small amount of a contrasting color. I loved how this light pink looked with the dark pink, so I picked out the Baby Velvet by Bernat. It's a little bit thinner, but for me it was important to have a color that looked good. And this says Ever After Pink. Then you'll need a size K or 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, and you'll also need a 5.5 millimeter or I crochet hook. You'll need a jumbo tapestry needle. You'll want to use your measuring tape so you can keep track of how long your scarf is getting, and you'll want about 5 stitch markers. These will help you with learning this textured stitch. And then you'll also want a DVD or CD case like this, or you can cut a piece of cardboard that's about 5.5 inches long, and this is to help you make the tassel. And of course you'll need sharp scissors as well. When we get to weaving the Celtic Knot Heart, we will go over the supplies you need for weaving. If you'd like to skip ahead to that part, just click on the timestamp in the description below. And remember, all of these supplies are listed in the description below with affiliate links. Thank you for your support. Let's get started by crocheting the base of our Celtic Heart Scarf. Now, because this is made with velvet yarn, it can be hard to see your stitches, especially when I'm trying to teach it to you. So I'm going to explain the stitch with this different yarn here, and you will need 5 stitch markers. So to begin your scarf, you're going to chain 21. Now I found for this stitch pattern to work well, you want a multiple of 4 plus 1. So now we're going to work across this chain, and we're going to skip the first chain, and we're going to do a single crochet in each stitch across. And this is just giving us a nice base for the scarf and the stitch pattern. So you will have 20 single crochets when you're finished. Again, single crochet is you put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So here we have our 20 single crochets. Now I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work, and now I'm going to set things up for my stitch pattern. So this first row here after the single crochet is going to be different than all the other rows, but this helps us get everything set up. So I'm going to skip this first stitch. So here are my 2 chains, and then this is the first stitch. I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to work 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Half double is you yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then yarn over, put my hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to put 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and 1 more half double. And then we're going to start building more V stitches like this one, where we have 2 half double, chain 1, 2 half double, all the way across this row. Now what I like to do to help us figure out what to do next row is, after you've made that chain 1, go ahead and put a stitch marker in the chain 1 stitch. So I'm going to skip 2 stitches and now do 2 half doubles in the next stitch, chain 1, and 2 half doubles in the stitch after that. And now I want to mark that chain 1 space with a stitch marker. Skip 2, 2 half doubles, chain 1, 2 half doubles in the next one. And mark with a stitch marker. So this will help us find those chain 1 spaces for the next round. So skip 2 stitches again, 1, 2, and then 2 half double here, chain 1, and then 2 half double in the next one. And let me mark it with a stitch marker. And now I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches. 2 half doubles in the next stitch. Chain 1, 2 half doubles in the stitch after that. And now I'm going to skip this next stitch and then put a half double crochet stitch in the turning chain. And I want to make sure that I mark that last chain 1 space. So this is what my project looks like so far. I have my row of single crochet, and then I have 5 shell stitches here that are made up of 2 half double, chain 1, 2 half double, with 2 skipped stitches in between all of them. Okay, so now we're going to work row 3, and we chain 2, turn our work, and now this is the stitch pattern that is going to repeat throughout the whole scarf. So what you want to aim for is this chain 2 space. So we chain 2 at the beginning, and this counts as our first half double crochet of the row. Next we're going to do a front post half double crochet around this double crochet that's right next to the chain 1 space. Actually, this is a half double crochet. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to remove the stitch marker. Let me bring it in a little bit for you here. So we have the chain 1 space, and then we have 2 half double crochets right here. We're concerned with the one closest to the chain 1 space. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to put my hook down next to that half double, around the back, out, and out to the front. This is for the post stitch, and then I yarn over, pull through 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now we have this chain 1 space, so I'm going to work a half double crochet, a chain 1, and then another half double crochet right into that chain 1 space. Next, I want to work around the very next half double crochet that's immediately after the chain 1 space, and I'm going to do another post stitch. So I yarn over, put my hook next to it, around the back, out to the front again, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 3. So this is what I'm going to do across every row. I'm going to find that half double crochet right next to the chain 1 space and do a post stitch. Then I'm going to do a very small V stitch, which is half double, chain 1, half double, all into that chain 1 space. Then I'm going to work another post half double crochet stitch around the next half double that's right next to the chain 1 space. And that's it. So I don't have to do anything in here. I head for that next chain 1 space, take out the stitch marker. Here it is. I can feel it with my non-dominant hand, and I'm going to find that half double crochet stitch right next to it, yarn over and put my hook around the post and complete the half double crochet as usual. Now do the V stitch here in the chain 1 space. So I have half double, chain 1, half double, then the next stitch right here, I'm going to do a post half double crochet around that. And there we go. And by doing these post stitches on every row, it's going to give this scarf some great texture. So I'm going to do that. Here's my next chain 1 space, and I'll do that front post half double crochet right here, then half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet into that chain 1 space, and then find that next half double crochet and do a post stitch around that one. You can already see how it's creating some depth and texture. So I'll continue with that until I get to the end of the row. So here I have done my last set of the post stitches and the V stitch in the center, and then I'm just going to find my turning chain right here and do a half double crochet in that turning chain. And that's it. So when you work your way across, if it would help you, as you make those chain 1 spaces, you can add in the stitch markers. And that way, with the velvet yarn, you won't lose your place and miss where to put your post stitches and where to put your V stitches. So I'll show you how to do one more repeat. So you're chain 2 at the beginning of the row, and now we head straight for that first chain 1 space. And I'm going to do front post half double around that first half double next to the chain 1 space. Then here's my chain 1, half double, chain 1, half double, and then my next front post half double. And that's it. So you start each row with a chain 2 and you end each row with a half double crochet in the turning chain. And you continue like that and you'll have texture on both sides of your scarf. So now that I've shown you how to do this stitch with non-velvet yarn, let me show you what it looks like and how I like to work with the velvet yarn. So here you can see that I've completed several repeats of row 3. And what I like to do is I like to use my non-dominant hand to feel for that center V-stitch where you would put the stitch markers. So if you don't want to use the stitch markers, you can still find your place pretty easily using your fingers to feel it. So we chain 2 at the beginning of the row, and now I can see the peaks here, and I'm going to feel out for that chain 1 space, and then I know I'm going to work around the post right next to the chain 1 space. So I yarn over and put my hook around that first half double crochet and work a front post half double crochet. Now I have the chain 1 space, so I'm going to do a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, and now this is my chain 1 space. I want that post half double crochet right after, then I'm going to work a front post stitch around. And that's it. So then I work my way across, feeling for that next chain 1 space. And you can see how it's at the top of these little mountains. So that's one way I know not to go here in between the V stitches. I'm going to shoot for those high points, and it works pretty quickly because you're just looking for that chain 1 space and then the 2 stitches next to it. So I think this stitch pattern goes very quickly, and it's a nice 1 row repeat. So now let's go over how to finish our scarf and make the Celtic Knot Heart. For the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf, you're going to want to make 2 Celtic Knot Hearts out of the velvet yarn. So first I'm going to switch to the 5.5 millimeter or I crochet hook, and this will make my stitches tighter. I want a nice solid cord to weave into the knot. And I'm going to put my slip knot on my hook and chain 96. Now remember, when you're chaining this many, you could do 10 or 20 and mark it with a stitch marker and just keep going 20 at a time, and then if you lose your place, you don't have to rip it out and start all over. Now that I have my chain of 96 started, I'm going to skip the first 2 chains, and I'm going to work a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from my hook. And then I'm going to continue that and work a half double crochet in each chain all the way across. Now normally when I make a cord for Celtic knot projects, I have you crochet in the back bar of the chain, but with this velvet yarn it is very hard to find that back bar. So we're just going to go in the chain, in that loop that you can see right here at the top of the chain. And you'll have this nice solid cord when you're finished going all the way to the end of the chain. And here you can see I've completed my cord of all those half double crochet stitches, and the cord is about 28 inches long. And then to give some interest to the heart, I'm going to use this light pink in baby velvet. If you want, you can double the strand. I'm just going to put my slip knot on my hook of this light pink. It's nice when you have a Celtic knot design that you have a contrasting color to show the edge of the cord. So I put my slip knot on my hook, and then I'm going to start at the beginning of the cord, which is where there is a bend in the cord and there are no yarn tails. The yarn tails is the end. So I want to start at the beginning, and I look here at the tops of all the half double crochet stitches, and I'm going to insert my hook through the back loop only, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through the stitch and through the loop on my hook, and that's a slip stitch. So the next one, I can see it right here. Put my hook in, yarn over, pull through everything. And this is going to give that nice braided look along the edge of the cord. And I'm doing it nice and loose because this yarn is actually a little thinner than the regular velvet. But it gives just a nice little detail. So I'm going to go all the way across. So after you've gone across that top side of the cord, you're going to chain one and put a slip stitch across the short side of the cord. I just put my hook right through the middle of the stitch, chain one again, and now I'm going to work along the bottom edge of the cord with slip stitch, and I'll just put my hook into a loop that I can find along the bottom edge, just like this. Nice and loose, like so. So I want to have this light pink edging along both sides of both cords for my heart to look the best. I originally only wanted to do one side of the cord, but as I was working on the project, it just looked much better if there was the slip stitch edging on both sides. So continue that until you get to the end of this side, and then you'll fasten off and we'll be ready to weave the Celtic knot. So now I have completed my cord, and I want to make 2 of these for the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf. And now we're ready to weave the knot. So you'll need a piece of cork board, 6 inch by 6 inches, plenty big enough. This one's slightly larger, and it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. And then I like to use a 1/2 inch of styrofoam underneath to protect my work surface from the pins. And yes, you'll need some straight sewing pins. And then you'll want to print out the diagram at CelticKnotCrochet.com for the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf. You want to pin the diagram here to your cork board, and before we begin weaving, it's always a good idea to use your finger to trace along the path of the knot. So we'll be starting here where the black asterisk is, and we're going to follow the arrows along this way, like so, and ending here. So the beginning of the cord will be here, the end will be here. So now let's try that with our completed cord. So I'm going to start on the side that has only the edging yarn tails, and I'm going to put the end in line with that asterisk, and I'm going to follow the arrows and pin wherever I need to help my cord stay in place. Now I'm going to follow the cord back this way. I'll remove that pin and then replace it. And now I can look, I'm going to go this way with the cord, pin the bottom here. Now I want to peek at the diagram, and I see that I'm going to go under and then over and follow around this way. So there we go. Now I'm going to follow around like this, and if I peek at the diagram, I see I'm going to go over, then under, then over. And again, wherever I need a little extra help, I just pin it there. So I'm going to go over, then under the center one, and over the next section. You can see I'm almost finished with my heart. So now I have to go right back through here for my last pass. If I peek at the diagram, I see that I'm going to go under first, then I'm going to go over, then under, then over. So under this first one, then over, then under. Now this might happen to you. As you can see, my cord isn't quite making it to the end. I just need to adjust. So I'm going to pull on the cord and adjust the spaces. And you might need to do that for the whole heart. And now you can remove the pins. And I'm going to pin across and pin the end across like so. And there we go. My Celtic knot heart is woven. So now I'm going to use these yarn tails, and on the wrong side I'm going to use my yarn needle and sew this end of the cord to the back of the other section of the cord, and I'm going to fold over this end, fold it over, and sew that on the back, and that'll give me a really nice looking heart ready to attach to my scarf. So let me show you how I sew those down. I just take the yarn tail and put it on my yarn needle. Can take out the pin for now, and I'm just going to work a whip stitch where I pick up a few loops on one part of the cord next to it, and then through the end of the cord like so, and do that all the way around this bottom part of the cord. Just want to make sure that the stitches don't show on the front side, and then I go around the other side, and I'll do that with both sides, both ends of the cord, and make sure all those ends are woven in like this, and then I would cut off the excess. Alright, and I'll repeat that on the other side, and then we're ready to attach this to our scarf and sew the end of our scarf so it can accommodate the heart. So on the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf, the end of the scarf is in a nice point, and then you add on the Celtic heart at the base of that point. So let's make the point. We're making it very simply without doing any increases or decrease stitches. I am just folding it and sewing it. But because of the velvet yarn, you can barely tell that that's what I did. And then it just gives it a little bit more stability here at the base where you have your heart hanging. So on the other side, you want to make sure that you have them both facing the same way. So this is going to be the front, and I'm going to turn over my project, and using a nice long yarn tail, I'm going to fold over the base here and then slightly overlap and fold it over like that. And if I hold it in place and turn it over, it's just this nice simple point. Okay, so I'll show you that again. I'm just taking the bottom, and I'll do this side first, fold it up so that this meets approximately the center, a little bit farther beyond the center, and then this is going to overlap that edge just a little bit like so. And then you can pin it in place if you'd like. I'm just going to hold it with my hand and whip stitch by passing through loops and stitches, and anchor that center part to start, and then I'll work along here and along here and then down through the center so this part is nice and secure. I've completed sewing those corners in to make this nice point, and then I'm going to take my Celtic heart and lay it face down underneath the point. So I'm going to overlap this bottom point of the scarf and put it right here in the center of my completed heart with the right side facing down. And I'm just using more of those yarn tails that I had from before, and I'm going to whip stitch around like so. To secure that in place. And I can do as much as I want. I recommend you sew this with a lot of stitching so your heart hangs nicely on your scarf and it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to sew some more, but just so you get the idea, we have our pointed ends with the hearts here just below. So now we're ready for the last piece of our scarf, and that is this tassel. Of course, this is optional, and you might want to attach the tassel without the Celtic heart and just put a tassel here in place of the heart. So it's up to you, but let me show you how I like to make this tassel. First, I'm going to take a CD case. If you don't have a CD or DVD case like this, you can just cut a piece of cardboard that's about 5.5 inches long. Then you're going to take your yarn and hold it at the top and wrap it 25 times. Now you can wrap it less than that and have a thinner tassel. And then you'll want to cut a piece about 12 inches long and put it on your tapestry needle. And then you're going to go through to the center of all the wrapped loops, like so, and bring that yarn length up to the top where the top fold is, and you're going to tie a nice tight knot. With the velvet yarn, you can't pull too tight or it will break, but I like to do a double knot. And we're going to use these yarn tails to attach the tassel to the bottom of the heart. Next, we're going to cut another piece about 12 inches long, and we're going to carefully slide the velvet yarn loops off the CD case. Alright, so all the loops are hanging down. I want to make sure that my hanging length is out of the way. And I'm going to put that 12-inch piece about 1.5 inches down from the top and tie another double knot around all of the loops like this. I just want to match. See, you want your tassels to be the same, and then another knot here. Okay, and this one's a little loose, so I can just pull this one out and trim that. So if you have any random loose ones like that, you can just cut those off. And now I'm going to put my scissors into all those loops and pull the loops tight so I get all the way down at the bottom so they're all about the same length. And then I can just lay it down and make sure everything is approximately the same length. And there we go. I have my velvet tassel. And then we're just going to take the end of our scarf, turn it so the right side is facing down, And I'm going to put those top lengths that I tied the tassel together with, and I'm going to go up through the center point of the heart, just like that. And I like to tie another double knot with the other one. So by knotting it, it helps it be really nice and secure. And then I'm going to work this yarn tail up inside the heart. I might sew a few things while I'm here. I like to make the heart point a little bit more pointy by pinching it together there. And I can use this yarn tail to sew together some of the crossings on the back, like so. And I'll continue weaving in both of these ends until I have this clean tassel, heart, and the end of my scarf. So I hope you enjoyed making the Velvet Celtic Heart Scarf. Please let me know in the comments below which colors you decided to choose. And make sure to click to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to watch the next video. Thanks for watching. Happy crocheting!